येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 69, verse number 40. So this chapter describes Narada's visit to Krishna's palace, Dwarka. He wanted to see how is that he is one but he has so many wives, they are married, and he has heard that he married all of them simultaneously in different palaces. So he went to different places and saw Krishna performing different activities. So finally he spoke to him, as we read, that this is your Yoga Maya and please bless me that I wander all over the world singing your glories. So Krishna blesses him. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Brahman Dharmasya Vaktāham karta tadanumodita tatshikshan lokamimam astitha putra makhida. So this is a very interesting verse where Krishna goes into two different moods. He says, "O Brahmana, O Devarshi Narad, you should know that I am the speaker of the dharma, I am the creator of the dharma, I am the approver of dharma, and I teach that while situated in this world, practicing it myself. Therefore, do not feel disturbed, O my son." So suddenly he is calling Narada Rishi as Putra. He is the one who just some time ago was washing his feet, putting the water on his head and doing achman with it. Now he says Putra Makhida. So now he changed his bhav and seeing Narada as devotee, and out of affection he is calling him as son. Says, "My dear son, be not disturbed that I am doing all these things, because you are thinking that I am Ishvara, so what is the need for me to do all this?" So kincha tvad ekanta dasasya mama tvad nikat sthita idam eva mahad dukkham yanme sashvat paryatan kathori durbhagau padau swahast kamalabhyam prakshalayasi iti tatrahu brahmaniti. So Narada, as if he is saying that I am your one-pointed servant, Ekanta Dasa. But then what you did, that when I came to you, then you washed my feet, which are very hard because I am always wandering barefoot. He doesn't have car or anything like that. So he says, I am always wandering on my feet, and therefore my feet are hard, and you wash them. So this is putting me in great trouble, because your hands are very soft, like lotus petal. So thinking that this is what Narada is thinking, then he speaks this verse where he says, Makheda, that I do this because I educate humanity by my example. Yaded acharti shrestha tattade vitrojana. So I am setting a good example for others to follow. Tatrahu brahmaniti tattasmat lokam shikshanimam dharmam astita. Says, while educating people, I am practicing this dharma. Aham tavat kshatriyo grihastha tvam brahmanam swagriham ayatam yadi na archayami tadasva acharanena mat pracharito dharmo katham tishthaita. So he says, I am a kshatriya and I am grihastha, a married man, and you are a brahmana and you are a sage. So you come to my house, and if I don't worship you, if I don't honor you by my behavior, then how will the dharma be established which I am speaking? Then it will only become a lip service, that I only talk but I don't practice it. Yadyad acharti shrestha tattade vitrojana iti nyayat. So this is the principle which he says in Gita itself, that whatever an ideal person does, common man follows. So dharma pracharanartham eva tatpado maya adyakshalito netu vastuta. So he says, therefore don't worry, don't be troubled. I washed your feet only to set an ideal for others, not in reality. Yada tu maya dharma pracharan lila narabdha tada keshi vadhanantaram madantika maya tasya tav bahustutyadikam ashrosham eva. But when I have not begun the pastime of establishing dharma, at that time I did not act like that. Because you came when I had killed the Keshi, this Asura, and you came and you recited many stotras to me. At that time I did not wash your feet. So because I was not making any standard of dharma at that time, I have not begun that. I heard your stotra, your prayers, and I approved. Natu kimapi anumatra mai aranam akarvam iti. So he says that I did not worship you at all. Smritva pasya iti bhava. Remember that and see the difference, how I am acting now and how I acted at that time. So he says, now also I am acting according to the standard of a grihastha, ideal behavior. Nanu tadapi idanim tat kartuka avnejan karmani swapad sprishtatvat pane mama prado bhavati eva iti ahe putriti. So then Narada Rishi says that okay, then if that is the case still, it is an offense on my part that you wash my feet and then you are taking that water and you are drinking it. So is it not an offense on my part? So then he says, Hey Putra Makhida, he says, don't be disturbed by that, don't have any misgivings like that you are offensive or anything. It is, I am just doing my duty. Sneham gyapyatva santaveti. So Krishna is consoling him by showing his affectionate behavior, by calling him as putra. Yatha pitari tad ankanihita padau api putrasya napradhas tathai mai tava iti buddhyasva iti bhava. So just like a father takes his son in the lap and the son may be kicking his legs in the lap, father does not become offended by that. So like that you are my child, and if I wash your feet, then there is no offense involved in that. So don't worry about it. Sri Shuka Vacha. So Shukdev Goswami continues. Iti acharantam sad dharman pavnan grihamedhinam tameva sarva geheshu santam ekam dadarshaha. So Sukdev said that in this way Bhagavan Sri Krishna was executing the prescribed duties of the married people, the grihasthas, which purify the grihastha. By executing those duties, one becomes purified. Pavnan grihamedhinam tameva sarva gehesu. So Narada saw this in all the houses, that all the Krishna is one, santam ekam dadarsha, that Krishna is one, but then he saw him in different houses executing the various types of religious activities. So this is what he witnessed. Ukta artham ekena eva slokena sankshipyaha. So the above meaning of Krishna is summarized in one verse by Sukta. Ekam ekavapusham. Ekam means in one body or in one form. Ekena vapusha iti purvokte. Because earlier also it was said ekena vapusha. that he married in one form. Atra naradasya tatha drashtum ichchaya bhagavatasya darshaitum ichchaya eva tatha darshanam abhuta. So this happened by the will of Narada, that Narada wanted to see this and Bhagavan wanted to also show it. अब क्या हो गया?
I think we lost the network.
Lost the network, then ढूंढो इसको, कहाँ चला गया, पकड़ के लाओ.
Recording in progress.
आ गया? Is it not amazing that in this heat this gets frozen? This is called Bhagavan ki Maya. Otherwise, how is it possible? This is achintya. Something freezing in the heat. So he says that generally it is not possible that one can see Krishna's activities like this. But Narada was able to see it because he has the desire to see and Krishna approved of that desire. Otherwise, even people who are living there, they did not see it like that. So that's what he says, Atra Naradasya tatha drashtum ichchaya bhagavatasya darshaitum ichchaya eva tatha darshanam abhut. So it happened by the will of Bhagavan. किंतु द्वारकावासिनस्तु ये यत्र त्या अस्ते तत्पुर एव कृष्णं पश्यन्ति न तु अन्यत्र पुरेषु. But the residents of Dwaraka, they did not see Krishna like that. It's not that they saw Krishna in many places. They will, wherever they are situated, they will see Krishna there only. Means if they are in one palace and Krishna is there, and they see him there. If they go to another palace, they don't see him there. So they saw him just like normal person who is in one place at one time. When he goes out, then they see him, he's going out, and then he's no more there. So therefore he says, Karyantaraya tatra tatra kadachit gachanto api iti geyam. So if suppose Krishna is in the palace with Rukmani and there are servants there, and if one of the servant has to go to Satyabhama's place for something, then when he goes there, then he will not see Krishna there. Otherwise he will get confused. He will say, I just left him there, how come he is here? So if he goes there, he will not see him. Similarly, if somebody comes from Satyabhama's palace to Rukmani's palace, then he will not find Krishna there. So this is how things were arranged. Krishnasya ananta viryasya yogamaya mahodayam muhurdrishtva rishilabhud vismito jata kautukaha. So Krishna, who has unlimited potency, his manifestation of Yogamaya, his yogic powers, or his manifestation of his internal potency, it was seen by sage Narada repeatedly, because he went from one palace to another palace. So he says, by seeing this, Vismito Jata Kautuka, he was amazed and was full of wonder that how is this happening. So it is only he who was seeing it like that, not others. Just like when Arjuna was there at the battlefield and Krishna manifested the Vishwarupa, then he saw it, not others. So this Narada also got some Divya Chakshu. Just as Arjuna got Divya Chakshu to see that, not others. Iti artha kama dharmeshu krishnena shraddhitatmana samyak sabhajita pritas tameva anusmaranyayo. So in this way, Sri Narada was honored by Sri Krishna, who was devoted to dharma, artha and kama. Means he was following the principles of dharma, as doing morning sandhya vandanam, yajna, charity, and artha means taking care of the management, whatever his duties were there, and kama, having relationship with the wife, children. So with great faith and devotion, he practiced shastra related to dharma, artha and kama. So Sri Narada, who was being honored by Krishna and Prita and was very pleased, and remembering him, he left. So he had such an amazing experience. Shraddhita Shraddha Yukta Atma Yasya Tena. So Shraddhita Atmana means that he has Shraddha in them. Evam Manushya Padvim Anuvartamano Narayano Akhil Bhavaya Grihita Shaktihi Remyang Shodasa Sahasra Varangananam Shavrida Sohid Nirikshana Hasa Jushtaha. So in this way, Bhagavan, who was manifesting human-like pastime, Manushya Padvim Anuvartamana, who was acting just like a human being. So he, who is Narayana and who has appeared here, Akhil Bhavai, for the welfare of everybody. So Remyanga Shodasa Sahasra Varangananam. So he relished his company with his 16,000 wives who were very beautiful. And Savrida Swahida Nirikshana Hasa Jushta. So being served with coyness, affection and loving looks and smile. This means they served Krishna very devotedly while looking at with great affection, also sometimes feeling shy, smiling and so on. Nanu Parmeshwarasya Arthadi Shraddhya Kim Ityaha Atah. So question is raised that Krishna is Parmeshwara. So why is that he has to follow dharma, artha, kama, moksha? What he has to do with artha? So then he says Manushya Vartmana Shritya. Manushya Padvim Anuvartamano. So Manushya Vartmana Shritya. He says because he was following the behavior, the character or lifestyle of a normal human being. So just as normal human beings, they do something for artha to make some money. They also engage in some kama, some sense pleasures and practice dharma. So tasya kimiti ataha, why he was doing this? He says akhila nam bhavaya. He says so that it will bring good to everyone. So how will it bring good to others? Manushya chestahi manushya sukhena smaryante. He says as human beings can remember the activities of human beings. So by seeing how he was acting in a very regulated, controlled manner, then other human beings, they also think that we can also follow that. And so what Tadrish Swalila Smaranaya tesam sansara nivartayumit. That if people will remember his pastimes in family life, so this will liberate them from the bondage to this samsara. Tat samsar nivartanaya tasya kim ityaha. So how does it benefit him? By giving his blessing to people of this material world. So how does it benefit him? So he says grihita shakti. He says kripakya yena se. Says it doesn't benefit him, but this is his compassion on living being. So that means out of compassion he acted like that. Kincha shashvatikya manushya chestaya na kevalam etavadev prayojanam किंतु स्वरूप भूत स्वप्रेयशीर मानुषी भी लक्ष्म्यादिभ्योपि उत्कृष्टाभीर मानुषाकृते स्वस्य वैकुंठनाथादि नामपि वासिनो. And moreover, this activities, this chesta, this behavior which he had was not just for human beings, but because this is his sashvatik, this is eternal pastime. It's not that he does it only when he comes and manifests his lila here, other time he is not doing it. He says no, he is eternally acting like this. So what is the benefit? He says because these wives who are in the human form, they are his Swarup Bhut Prayasi, they are his internal potency, and their love and their activities are superior even to Lakshmi. Lakshmi adibhyopi utkrishtam bhir manushakrate swasya vaikuntanathadi namapi vasim. So it is very attractive even to Vaikuntanath. It controls even them. Ananya bhakta eva vishya yesham tanitiva. Or it means that it is meant only for those who are one-pointed devotee of him. Shashvatikam ramanam api ityaharameti. And he enjoys, relishes these pastimes eternally. Therefore, the word Reme has been used. Reme anga shodas sahasra varanganana. Yani hai vishwa vilo विलयोद्भव वृत्ति हेतु कर्माणि अनन्य विषयाणि हरिश्चकार यस्तु अंग गायति शृणोति अनुमोदते वा भक्तिर्भवेद भगवती ही अपवर्ग मार्गे. So he says all these activities which Sri Krishna performed, which are cause of creation, maintenance, dissolution of the world, and which cannot be performed by anyone else but him, Harishchakara. Anyone who sings them, one who listens to them, or one who approves of them, he will get devotion to Bhagwan on the path of Apavarga Marga, means pure devotion, not Sakam Bhakti but Niskam Bhakti. So this is the Falashruti benefit. One more Falashruti. न च कृष्ण लीला केवलम संसार मोक्षार्थम अर्थेवा किंतु प्रेम भक्ति प्रदा चैति आहयानित. So these Krishna's pastimes are not only to bring moksha, liberation from the bondage to the material world, as seems to be from the previous sloka, but they also give prema bhakti, the pancham purushartha. Vilayascha udbhavascha vritti sthiti. So vilaya, udbhava and vritti. Vilaya means dissolution, udbhava means creation, and vritti Vritti means maintenance, sustenance, sthiti. Tasam heturapi. So although he is the cause behind all this, so Krishna yani karmani ananya vishyani swarupantara asadharanani. So whatever activities he performs besides these three are well-known activities of Bhagavan that he creates, he maintains. But these are some extraordinary activities which he performs, and that is his pastimes, his relations with his wives, children, family members. So this is his education to us also. This is how people should live here. And by hearing this, not only that one learns the behavior, but one becomes devoted, one attains bhakti to him by remembering his lila. So therefore it says karmani ananya vishyani swarupantara sadharanani. These are some extraordinary activities which are not performed even by other avatars, because other avatars do not have activities like Krishna did. So ananya bhakta eva vishya uddeshya yesam tanitiva. Or ananya vishya can also mean ananya bhakta, that these are meant for his unalloyed devotees. Apvargo moksho marge bhajan lakshane vartmani eva. Apvarga means moksha, but here moksha refers to the path of devotion. This is in 5th canto of Bhagavatam. The word apvarga has been defined as bhakti and not just moksha. The common meaning of the word apvarga is moksha, but uncommon meaning is also bhakti. So bhajan lakshane vartmani eva labhyo yasya tasmin bhagavati bhakti prema vilakshana. So to have this bhakti to Bhagavan, and this is prem vilakshana bhakti, means bhakti with the symptom of prema. Tasya taret sansar mokshastu bhajanarambhe eva syat. So for such a person, freedom from material bondage happens in the very beginning of his devotion. Means bhakti is performed only after you become free from bondage. Bhakti cannot be performed when person is conditioned. Bhakti begins when you become unconditioned. So the very beginning of bhakti makes you unconditioned, and then it grows to prema level. So iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetasam ekona saptitamodhyaya dasme ajani sangata. This is the end of commentary called Sarartha Darshini on 69th chapter of 10th canto, completed in the company of devotees and which gives pleasure to them. Any question on this? Otherwise we move to the next chapter. So chapter number 70. कौन बोला?
Pranam Babaji.
बोलिए.
The wives of Krishna, they didn't know who the other wives are married to. How did Krishna harmonize that? Like Satyanarayana, do you know that they're all married to Krishna?
What? I didn't get the question. Satyabhama did not know what?
If the wives didn't know that they're all married to Krishna, how did Krishna harmonize that they're all married to the same person?
Harmonize means what? I mean, they knew that they are married. Then
To the same person, same Krishna. Satyabhama didn't know that Rukmini was married to Krishna,
Yeah,
Jambavati was.
they knew. They also met with each other. It's not that they were living on some isolated island. They will meet, they will talk, they will share their notes. Why you think that they did not know?
Because Krishna is only seen in their palace. So they think that Krishna only lives with them and not with the other wives.
Yeah, so they think that I am fortunate. They are so much absorbed in their love with Krishna that they are not so much thinking what is happening with others. There is no time. Bhakti is a little difficult to grasp. It brings complete absorption. Love, like when you fall in love with somebody very intensely. In material world also sometimes if it happens to some people, then you are not concerned about others so much. So they were absorbed in their service to him, and this love is not for one's own sake, it is for him, to please him. So then they are thinking, and they may also sometimes see that maybe he is going sometime. But generally they thought that he is with me, so they are happy. But at least these 16,000, they all got married, they were together. They were in the prison of Bhaumasura, all of them. And all other wives, they got married one by one. First Rukmani got married, then he married Satyabhama. So Rukmani obviously knows that now he is getting married. Maybe she joined in the marriage party, dancing. These days in India, marriage party goes, the ladies also go and they dance. Previously it was not allowed. But maybe Krishna's time he was more advanced. No, they knew. Braj Kishori.
Babaji, I was wondering if we know where Narada lives. I always was under the impression that he just travels through all different universes. But what got me thinking is this Artha Kama Dharmishu, the blessing that he got from Krishna, which means if he got things for Artha Kama, for prosperity and other things, does he have
No,
hunger?
I think you got it wrong. This Dharmartha Kama is not about Narada, it is about Krishna. It is Krishna who was devoted to the principles of Dharma, Artha and Kama and practicing them, not Narada. Narada only witnessed them, how he was practicing. Narada was not blessed to engage in Dharma, Artha, Kama. Narada is a bhakta.
And does he have any residence?
Yeah, he is supposed to have some ashram somewhere. Maybe somewhere in the Mount Meru, Himalaya. Because when Indra, he was taking Hiranyakashipu's wife, Prahlad's mother, and she was pregnant. Then Narada released her from Indra because Indra wanted to kill her, that she is going to give birth to another demon. So Narada says no, and then Narada took her to his ashram. That's where he instructed Prahlad. So he has his ashram, but it is not mentioned where he has it. Another loka. Okay.
I had one question. In chapter 61, there it is said that Krishna has 16,000 patnis. And I had understood recently, one of the classes I understood that there's only one Patni. That's the wife that participates in the yajna, and then all other.
But Krishna is doing
wives.
yajna with everybody. You saw that. So they're all Patni.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
We saw that.
Yes.
So Patyurno yajna sanyoge. That is the sutra of Panini. That on Pati the word ni is applied. No. When it is yajna sanyoga, so it becomes Patna, and then feminine becomes Eep, Patni. That's how the word Patni comes.
I see. So then this is even extra special, because
Very special.
normally one has one. So it's true that I understood correctly. Yeah, that one.
Also,
one
then there is a
Patni and
primary
one lady.
meaning, and then you have secondary. It can also be just like you use the word Bhagwan. So Bhagwan Narada, Bhagwan Shuka. So it is the primary meaning. But in case of Krishna, it is primary. So Sri Shuka uvacha. अथोष श्रिय उपवृत्तायां कुक्कुटान् कूजतो शपन् गृहीत कंठ्य पतिभिर्माधव्यो विरहातुरा. So Sri Sukdev is continuing to describe Krishna's daily activity, especially the morning activity. So he says, when it was time for the sun to rise, the dawn, Ushasi upavrittayam. Usha means the dawn, morning before sunrise. Then the hen, the roosters, they start making that kukuduku sound. You heard that? So they are making, this is their habit. They may wake up everybody in the morning. So the wives of Krishna, they will curse them because Grihit Kanthya, they are being embraced by Krishna in their neck, and now they become disturbed that it is time for separation. So Madhavyo, Patir Bhir Madhavyo Virhatura Kujato Asapan. So when these roosters will make their sound early morning, which is time to get up. In the olden days, in the villages where there was no watch, nobody had watch. So people will hear that sound and they will say it is time to get up now. This was like a morning clock alarm. These roosters acted as the morning alarm for people to get up. That means it's the Brahma Muhurta time. So people usually will wake up at that time. स्वाध्याये सप्तति तमे प्रातः कृत्य कथा हरेः सुधर्माया दूत नारदयोः कार्य विचारणा. So in this 70th chapter, there is a description that describes the morning activities of Krishna, what he does every day morning, which is very important for all the bhaktas to understand that if Krishna is doing it, what to speak of us. So pratah kritya katha harehe. And then the next topic which is being described is that Krishna will be sitting in the Sudharma assembly house, and then a messenger comes there with a message, and then Narada Rishi also appears there. And then there is deliberation what is to be done after hearing the message of the Dut or the messenger. Iti adharm artha dharma kameshu krishnena sradhitatmane iti uktam. So in previous chapter, in the second last sloka, it was said that Krishna is devoted to dharma, artha and kama. Right? So krishnena dharma artha kameshu sradhitatmane iti uktam. So ato brahmam muhurtam arabhya kidrisham dharmachanam iti apekshayamah. So then naturally a question arises in the mind that what kind of activity would Krishna do in the morning time, Brahma Muhurta. So Brahma Muhurta is 96 minutes before the sunrise. So that is good in India, but if you are in a country like Russia, Lithuania, Estonia, there Brahma Muhurta in the summer time, forget it. The sun rises there at 3 o'clock in the morning. 2:30 there is light. Actually, even 2 o'clock in early morning there is light. So if you have to wake up in the Brahma Muhurta there, you will never sleep. The houses have to have complete, dark blinds, though you cannot sleep. So therefore, Brahma Muhurta, waking up, doesn't apply there. It applies here. So he's saying Brahma Muhurtam arabhya kidrisha dharmacharanam iti apekshayamaha atha iti. So upavritta, ushashi upavritta, upadhikyena vrittayam jatayam satyam. So means the dawn has come. Patibhiriti prakash bahulyat bahutvam. Now there is interesting thing here. The word patibhi is in plural. Right? Patibhi is Tritiya Vibhakti Bahuvachan. Third plural. So Krishna is only one. How is plural being used for him? Husbands. The wives whose neck was embraced by husbands. So why there is plural here? So he says because he was plural. He was one, but he was having many prakashas. So that's why plural. So Virhatura. Madhavya Rukmanyadya. So Madhavya is also in plural. That refers to the wives beginning with Rukmani, who is the chief queen, Ashapan. So they cursed the roosters. How did they curse? Re re kukutaha priya vichchedak pratah samay pradurbhavaka yuyam shighrameva miredhvam iti shapam dadu. He says, O hens, you are causing us to be separated from our beloved. You may die immediately. So no wonder the roosters get killed all over the world. Right? Kentucky Fried. So this is maybe the curse coming from there. So Vayansi Ruruvan Krishnam Bodhayanti Vavandinaha Gayastva Alishwa Nidrani Mandaravan Vayubhihi. So further description that Vayamsi Ruruvan. So Vayamsi is for the bird. So the birds, they were chirping early morning as if they are trying to wake up Krishna. They are acting like the court bards who sing praises to wake up the king in the morning. So the birds are acting like that. by their chirping. And Gayat Sualishu Anidrani. And then the Brahmaras, the bees, they are also humming around early morning, not sleeping. Mandaravan Vayubhi, because the nice fragrant breeze from the Parijata flowers is coming, and the bees are also humming, the birds are chirping, awakening him. Mandaravan Vayubhi Sugandhai Prabudhaya Gayat Satsu Alishu. So the Brahmaras, the bees which have been awakened up by the beautiful, the nice fragrance coming from the Parijata gardens. And Tadgan Shabdena Nidrani Vayamsi. And because of the humming of the bees, the birds have also woken up, and then they are chirping. Kidrishani Vandina Eva Krishnam Bodhyanti. And then these birds, they are like the court poets or bards, which are as if trying to sing praises to wake up Krishna. Muhurtam tutam vedarbhi mamrishyadati shobhanam parirambhana vishleshat priyabahu antaram gataha. So that particular muhurta was not very much appreciated by Vedarbhi, that is Rukmani, because this is the time for her to be separated from Krishna's arms, Priya Bahu Antaram Gata. She was in the embrace of Krishna, and now she has to be separated. So you see, we saw a similar description in Gopal Champu, Radha and Krishna. So he got the idea from here. And then he expands there nicely. So parirambhanasya vishleshat vishlesh hetutvat. So because of the separation from the embrace of Krishna, tam brahmam muhurtam shobhanam api namrishyat. Although the Brahma Muhurta is considered as very auspicious, but Rukmani was unable to tolerate that. Ashobhanam eva mene ityartha. In other words, he considered it to be not very auspicious. Why? Because she has to be separated. Vedarbhi iti uplakshanam sarva eva. Although here there is mention only of Rukmani, but it is an indicator that the same feeling was also in the other queens also. Brahmo muhurtam utthaya variyupsparsha madhavaha dadhyau prasanna karana atmanam tam saha param. So Krishna, he woke up in the Brahma Muhurta, then he did achmana with water, variyupsparsha madhava, and then he meditated with happy mind, prasanna karana. And on whom was he meditating? He meditated on the person on whom everybody meditates. So therefore he meditated on himself. Because everybody wakes up in the morning, meditate on Vishnu. So Atmanam tam saha param. So he meditated on the self, his own self, knowing himself to be beyond the tamas. And what was the meditation? Ekam swayam jyotir ananyam avyam swam swasanstaya nitya nirasta kalmasham brahmakhyam asyodbhava nasa hetubhi swashakti bhir lakshita bhava nirvritim. So he meditated that how he is one self-effulgent, one without a second, imperishable, and situated in known Swarupa, eternal, free from all sins, and is known as Brahma, and is the cause of creation, maintenance, sustenance, and he is endowed with his own Shakti, Swashakti Bhir Lakshita Bhava Nirvrittim, and he is Ananda Swarupa. So this is how he meditated on himself. Atmanam Swam Dadhyav. So Atmanam means on his own self he meditated. Yatha anya jano brahma muhurte tam dhyayati tathaiv soapi swameva dadhyav. Just as in Brahma Muhurta, other people, especially other people means devotees, they meditate on Krishna. In the same way, he also meditated on himself. Tamsaha prakritehe param. Beyond tamsa means beyond prakriti. Ekam, he is one. Ishwarasya ekasya eva achityat. Because Ishvara can only be one. Atah swam jyoti swam eva prakashman. Therefore he is swam jyoti or self-effulgent. Nanu sankarshanadeyopi ishvara shruyante tatra ananyam. Na kopi avataro anyo yasmat. If someone says, why you say that he is the only one, there are other avatars such as Sankarshan, Pradyumna, etc. He says, yes, they are Ananya, he is Ananya. These avatars are not different from him, they are not independent of him. Kincha Sankarshanadisu swam savataresu prithang nityam vartmanesu pi avyayam paripurnam. And although he expands himself into his avatars such as Sankarshana, but still he remains complete in himself. That is the meaning of the word avyaya. Pradurbhave tu kripa eva karanamiti ahasva sanstaya. And why he manifests himself in the form of avatara? He says only because of his kripa. Swasya samyak sarujan drishyate astitya nivrittam kalmasam avidya yasmat. So he says Swasanstha means the form which is visible to everyone, and he is nivrittam kalmasham avidya, free from any ignorance. Kincha brahmane akhya samyak khyati prakasho yasmat. Moreover, the Brahman also manifests from him only, as it is said in the 8th canto, Madiyam Mahimanam cha param brahmaiti shabditam ved sasri anugruhitam me. Samprashne vivritam hridi. So this was spoken by Matsya Avatar to Satyavrat, that you will also know my Mahima, my glory, which is known as Brahman. And Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmano hi pratisthaham, that I am the shelter of Brahman. Yadva brahmakhyam brahmanamkam brahma iti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. Or the other meaning is that Brahman is also one of his names, as it is said in the very beginning of Bhagavatam that the absolute reality is known by 3 names as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Sarvashrashthyam aha asya vishvasya udbhav udrikto bhava sansarastasya nashetuvi swashaktibhir gyan pradatva bhakti pradatva adibhir lakshita. And he is the supreme because the manifestation of this Vishwa, this universe, happens from him. Udrikto bhava sansara. Tasya nash hetu is also the cause of its destruction. And swashakti bhir lakshita is indicated by his powers, potencies. Gyan pradatva, bhakti pradatva, adibhir lakshita. His Shakti gives knowledge about him, bhakti about him. Sarvatra anubhuta bhavanam martyadinam nirviti yasmat. And the living beings, they get bliss by his experience. Tatra bhaktanam taddat prematishayene shishtanam tadbhritya sushtu palanena dushtanam tadvadhanantaram mukti praptya nirvriti. How he gives bliss to everybody, he says bhakta get bliss because he gives them prema. And those who are following dharma, tadbhritya sushtu palanena, he gives protection to them. And those who are dushta, who are atheistic, he liberates them by killing them. So in this way, he brings nirvritti or happiness to everybody. We'll stop here. He will continue to speak. Then he will talk about the assembly. Sandeep.
Abraham Babaji. So, in Guru Upasana, also one meditates on oneself. Can you please tell what is the difference last two shlokas and Guru Upasana? Because as far as I remember, there one meditates upon oneself, considering oneself to be Bhagwan. Is it not like that?
So this is considering, or he is actually?
So that is the difference, but otherwise the process is same.
Yeah. But why you think they are same? One is not Bhagwan, and one is thinking to be Bhagwan, and one is Bhagwan and is knowing to be Bhagwan.
I was talking about ध्यान की पद्धति तो same है.
Yeah, ध्यान की पद्धति तो same है, but they are not same. If you eat poison or you eat gulab jamun, the paddhati is same. The same mouth, same tongue, but the effect is quite different. Okay.